Well, recently, Representative Jim Jordan unveiled a trove of internal documents exposing the Biden administration's pressure on Amazon to censor certain books. So, this isn't just a story about a company, it's about the erosion of free speech and the disturbing influence of the government on private enterprises. The investigation by the Judiciary, GOP, and Weaponization committees brought to light internal communications from Amazon, and these documents reveal that the Biden White House actively pressured Amazon to either remove or suppress books deemed controversial. So this wasn't about illegal content or hate speech. This was about silencing viewpoints that the administration found inconvenient or contrary to their narrative. So, what kinds of books were targeted? Well, the administration's directives included keyword searches to flag books critical of big pharma, skeptical of COVID-19 vaccines, and even children's books promoting balanced discussions. Here are some of the books that were targeted. We have some images of these books. There was a huge list of about 45 books that they went after, but here's some of them that were on that list. Here's the Miller's Review of Critical Vaccine Studies. So this was important, 400 important scientific papers summarized for parents and researchers, and they wanted that one gone. Another one, the vaccine book. The vaccine book is Making the Right Decision for Your Child. This was a book about the vaccine book offers parents a fair, impartial, fact-based resource from the most trusted name in pediatrics. Dr. Bob devotes each chapter in the book to a disease vaccine pair and offers a comprehensive discussion of what the disease is, how common or rare it is, how serious or harmless it is, and the ingredients of the vaccine and any possible side effects from the vaccine. So that just sounds informative, but that made the list according to the Biden White House, who was emailing Amazon and saying, when we were Googling or when we were doing a search on Amazon, I don't know what you call it. It's not Googling, right? It would be Amazoning. When we were doing a search on Amazon for vaccine books, these are the lists of books that popped up. And this is very concerning, is what the Biden White House said to Amazon. This is concerning. All of these books, when these are the skeptic books, these don't have CDC warnings, is what the Biden White House was saying to the Amazon executives. Where's the CDC warnings? Why are these the books that pop up when we do a search for vaccine? They even actually censored children's books, which we were just showing. Let's just look at this image here. This is What Are the Vaccines? Big Questions, and this is for kids. What's crazy about this book is one of the books this book actually had a part of the book fostering a friendship between vaccinated and unvaccinated kids, and that was apparently deemed too controversial. So there's a whole part of this where they're like, do I still make friends with kids who've been vaccinated? I hope you do. Of course you should, says the mom. Of course, that's not the way it is for the vaccinated kids with the unvaccinated, right? Their parents are teaching them, don't you dare go around that grandma killer. But this was a book that was also censored. So many books were censored by the Biden White House. They went and they pressured Amazon. These were books that were deemed just too controversial. Now, this isn't just an attack on free speech. It's an attempt to shape young minds by restricting their access to diverse viewpoints. So according to these internal emails, which were leaked and or actually were procured through the select subcommittee on the weaponization, Jim Jordan was able to get all of these, and that's why it's called the Amazon files. Well, according to them, Amazon initially resisted. So if you read through the emails, Amazon was like, wait a minute, we're not social media. We're different. We're a retailer. Our job is to give options to the people that shop in our store. We curate the options based on what people want. That's what we do as a retailer. Now, I would counter with Amazon on that one. I think Amazon's right. They're not a social media company. They are a retailer, but social media should also be sort of a marketplace in the same way Amazon is, but a marketplace of ideas and a variety of ideas. And like Amazon, where you cater to the wants and desires of the people and what they want to shop and what they want to buy, you would do the same thing when it comes to social media. All people would be able to voice their opinions, their thoughts, and have discussions, and they should be allowed to do that freely with one another. But again, that was censored. So the internal discussions that Amazon had highlighted concerns about, they were worried about public backlash. They were worried about the company's role as a neutral platform. However, the pressure from the government, from the Biden administration, was relentless. So Amazon eventually implemented a do not promote status for these books that we just showed you, as well as many others, dozens of others, effectively burying them from view. So this capitulation wasn't about aligning with community standards, but about succumbing to government pressure. That's ultimately what Amazon did. So why would the Biden administration go to such lengths? The motive appears to be control. By silencing dissenting voices, they aim to maintain a uniform narrative, particularly around contentious issues like the COVID-19 pandemic and pharmaceutical industry practices. This is not about public safety or misinformation. It's about quashing any challenge to their authority. The implications of this are profound. If the government can pressure one of the largest booksellers in the world to censor content, where does it end? This sets a dangerous precedent where free speech is only permitted if it aligns with the government's views. The fundamental principle of a democracy is the free exchange of ideas, and this kind of interference erodes that foundation. Historically, such censorship efforts have been the hallmark of authoritarian regimes. The playbook, though, is eerily similar: suppress dissent, control the narrative, and maintain power. The Biden administration's actions, as revealed in these documents, echo these disturbing practices. And the internal communications from Amazon executives reveal a company caught between its principles and governmental pressure. I wouldn't even really call it principles, but I just call it, the desire to make money, which I suppose is a principle. Emails and messages show frustration, ethical dilemmas, and the ultimate decision to comply. So this isn't just about one company's struggle. It's a case study in the broader conflict between corporate ethics and government mandates, free speech. For the average American, this should be a wake-up call. It's the reminder that the rights enshrined in the Constitution are not just words on paper, but principles that must be defended against encroachments, which, as of late, are happening all the time. The freedom to read, to think, and to express diverse opinions is under threat. It's incumbent upon all of us to remain vigilant and to demand accountability from our leaders. So the revelations from the Amazon files are not just a scandal, they're a dire warning. The Biden administration's overreach into the realm of free speech through pressure on private companies like Amazon, and as we saw, Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, is a step towards a more controlled and less free society. So we must remain vigilant and hold our leaders accountable to ensure that the principles of free speech and open debate are upheld. The actions of the Biden administration, as revealed by Representative Jim Jordan, are a direct assault on those principles, and we need to demand transparency and accountability from those in power. So good for Jim Jordan for actually shedding light on this, for being vigilant. He has gone through and done so many of these files. Now we have seen so many of them, and many more, I'm sure, are to come. And what we see is that the government just continues to abuse its power. And luckily, we do have some people like Jim Jordan who's actually exposing this and shedding light on it, because it really is essential to our maintaining or trying to preserve, or at least trying to feign, a democracy, whichever camp you're in on where you think we are as a democracy, as a country. It's absolutely essential that we continue to expose the abuse of power. Thank you so much for watching this clip from the full show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. Thank you guys so much for watching.